The impressive parade in front of the court block in downtown Belize City marked, as it does every year, the start of the 2024 legal year. The event was attended by members of the bench and bar, Attorney General Anthony Sylvester, President of the Bar, Senior Counsel Andrew Marshalek, and other officers of the court.
Good morning, Madam Chief Justice.
Good morning, Inspector Martinez.
I'm Christopher Martinez, Inspector of Police.
Inspector of Police Christopher Martinez invited Chief Justice Louise Blenman to inspect a guard of honor. Following the march past, Chief Justice Blenman started her address by sharing the legislative reform.
In last year's address, I acknowledged the visionary work of the former Attorney General, Mrs. Marion, Senior Counsel, and the government of Belize in the enactment of the Senior Courts Act. The Act modernized and reformed the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal to a unified court system, now referred to as the Senior Courts of Belize. This reform has been transformative and undergirds the independence of the judiciary. The Act has comprehensively streamlined the judiciary in Belize. In addition to the creation of a number of new positions in the senior courts, the Act created a structure which is akin to the structure which exists in other jurisdictions, such as the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court.
As the Chief Justice acknowledged, Belize's justice system is beset by many challenges, including the delay in access to justice. Thus, there is the need for judicial reform to complement the legislative reform. Backlogs, she said, was just one of the challenges. But there have been measures taken towards this end, including efficient case management being conducted in both civil and criminal cases, the increased use of sentencing indications, which has led to the disposal of criminal matters without trial, a more stringent adjournment policy in place, alternative dispute resolution methods, including mediations, and a zero-tolerance policy for long outstanding judgments. Judgments are now expected to be delivered within a 6-month period. In 2023, 4 judges were welcomed to the High Court to help deal with the backlog of cases. Attorney General Anthony Sylvester spoke about his office's involvement in drafting amendments and new legislations, a total of 54 of which were passed.
Madam Chief Justice, over the past legal year, the Attorney General's Chambers has been extremely active, drafting amendments to a number of pieces of existing legislation, coming up with new legislation in relation to areas of the law which have been prioritized by government, and drafting subsidiary legislations. A total of 54 pieces of legislations were passed by the National Assembly in 2023, and a total of 159 statutory instruments were drafted and promulgated, compared to some 31 pieces of legislation enacted and 175 statutory instruments being promulgated the previous year. Amongst these acts enacted in 2023 were a new Fiscal Incentives Act, a new Extradition Act, the Civil Asset Recovery and Unexplained Wealth Act, and the Law Revision Amendment Act.
President of the Bar Association, Senior Counsel Andrew Marshalek, focused his address on legislative measures that have been introduced to deal with major illegal activities.
In the past year, we have seen a myriad of legislation enacted. A fair number of them are designed to combat money laundering, terrorist financing, and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. These laws, we are told, are essential to maintaining banking relationships internationally and allowing us to participate financially in the global economy. They are passed with dizzying speed and set new complex standards for participation in the financial system. We've also seen regulations passed to penalize price gouging and to regulate the production and delivery of sugarcane, and to severely penalize assaults against members of National Assembly and public officers, among others. We now have draft legislation on the table to incentivize activities sequestering carbon and allowing for the trade of carbon credits. All of these laws rest squarely on the power of the state to penalize those who act contrary to them.
Chief Justice Blenman said that although 2023 had its challenges, it was a successful year, and the outlook for 2024 is for even more efficient work. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.